Hi, I'm Bran, and I love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and it's over. We did it, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Do you want to tell them, Jax, or you want me to tell them?
We did it, guys. What it is, they ride off into the sunset to fix baby Jack's diabetes, and
I don't
that,
think he
my
knows.
friends.
Jax, I don't think
Wait,
he knows. I don't think he knows.
yeah,
When calls
you know
the-
the good, you know the good news,
right?
though, right?
The good news,
You know the
like
good
the
news,
word
right?
of God. Yeah, of course, I know the good news.
The
Who doesn't? You know what I mean?
You tell him. You tell him, Jax.
Lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13 coming back 2026.
I'm beginning to think
Let's
both.
go.
So first of all, that's not good news, and I'm beginning to question the good news because of this
that.
news. Why, guys? Yeah, at least he proposed this season. We'll definitely have a marriage, and it'll be done next season, right? It's full Debbie Downer. You should have gone one or
Also-
whatever that was. I don't remember.
Brian Bird is setting us up. He was like, well, I was talking to Sheila about this. He's like, it took Jack and Elizabeth 5 seasons. So, she and Nathan need their time. Is this buying them 4 more seasons?
Good gosh.
No. Brian Bird?
Brian.
The answer's no.
Brian.
How long has
Brian.
she known Nathan? It
terrible.
wasn't a how long had she been dating Jack. They met in season 1. That was when they met. She met Nathan in what? 7? 6?
So ridiculous. She has known Nathan for half the run of the program. The run.
Needs time. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
I don't want to get to the hot take, but spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited about another season. And I'm excited to that also, even though we're going to be done with When Calls the Heart.
You got it.
We're going to be done talking to Jax because Jax is coming back in just a couple of weeks to begin going through the Love Club Moms franchise. It was her request, and we couldn't say no.
No, was this like my demotion of not doing Chicken Sisters? You're like, all right.
To be fair, Jax, anytime we've done an Up TV movie, I believe you have either covered it with us or you have been in it. So
Yes.
from
yes.
that
You're
perspective,
our up girl.
it does work.
I don't know if that works, but you're our up girl. What's up,
I'm
girl?
your up girl. What's up, girl? Yes, I'm happy to cover the Up TV content with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we cover so much of it.
Yeah.
So much.
I mean, you've been on When
Love
Calls the
Club
Heart
Mom.
for 6 years now, right? Is that correct?
my
7
God.
years?
I-
5
it-
years?
Yeah, I've walked this
21,
journey.
22, 23, 24, 25. She did 5
Yeah.
seasons of When Calls
And
the
I
Heart.
did it for Hallmark.
Oh,
too.
she did
So-
more than that because she watched 2 seasons
right.
in 21. So
That's right.
I think you've done it since season 6 for us.
Yeah.
How about
And
that?
before that for Hallmark.
With
so
Bubbly
I've been
Sesh,
walking
of course.
this journey.
Every chance
No.
Jax gets to mention the Bubbly Sesh, she
never
does.
stops talking.
Wait, do you guys know
unbelievable.
that we spoiled the love triangle?
What?
Oh, what do you mean?
No one was really paying attention, so it's okay. Thank God more people didn't listen to our podcast. We promoted that we were having an interview with Chris McNally 2 days before the finale aired.
No.
And it was
And
some people
were
caught
like-
on.
People were like, well, why would they be interviewing him?
It doesn't take a detective to figure it out.
You can
guys-
find all that content on bubblysesh.com.
.com.
Oh, except you can't. It's been scrubbed from the internet.
Well, just give it a shot.
See what happens if you
See
go
what
to
happens if you go to
bubblysesh.com.
bubblysesh.com.
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, just find out.
Just
Just
find
find
out.
Do a little detective work.
Let's talk about When Calls the Heart, the season 12 finale. It's called...
We're doing it.
No.
Diabetes Strikes Back.
Oh, that would have been good, but no.
Return
Jax,
of the Sugars.
Do you know it?
Return of the Sugars.
No, I don't.
It is
I
must.
don't.
It's Must Be Gold.
Must be gold.
Must Be Gold.
It's a dumb name.
It originally premiered on the Hallmark Channel on the 23rd of March, and it went a little something like this. Wrong one. Sorry. Like
Crickets
this.
are correct. That's not wrong. That is accurate. Starts with crickets.
How long are the cricket? Okay, they're done. Baby Jack is back and better than ever. Out there throwing the baseball with Nathan. It's almost as if the ordeal of diabetes is behind him. Elizabeth words, not mine. Graduation is quickly approaching for the first time in 12 seasons. Nathan and Elizabeth are as in love as ever, matching outfits and all. Rosemary's talking to Bill about how she isn't going to publish the story about the gold situation without knowing where the gold is. I want to know where the gold is.
I want to know where the gold is.
Bring me the gold.
Could be a leprechaun.
Could be a crackhead. We got a hold of the wrong stuff. She suggests interviewing Edie. Maybe she'll open up more to her than she did to Bill. Nathan is talking to Oliver and gives him a form that's telling him that he's going to be stationed at Fort McNeil after he graduates, and Nathan is confident that he's going to do well on his final exam. Oliver does not seem thrilled. Rosemary goes to talk to Edie and notices a map behind her. Edie tells Rosemary that her uncle drew it. Silly uncle, always drawing maps. The kids all
Picks are for
present.
kids.
That's right.
Silly uncle.
Yeah, it was great. The kids all present their project-based learning projects in front of parents, and Lucas is impressed by this. He tells Elizabeth that he's going to talk to the district about implementing this at other schools. Elizabeth gets a letter from her grandma telling her that Kate Fullerton has great doctors. Kate Fullerton is here, and she has great doctors, and is essentially encouraging her to move for the sake of baby Jack. But baby Jack is fine. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. There's no reason to move. Lucas and Edie are playing cards again, talking about her uncle, and they decide that maybe they should try to find the gold coins and return them to their owners. Bill, Rosemary, and Nathan are looking at the map when they suddenly notice on the map is a giant well. Maybe it's a clue. Maybe the map is actually a treasure hunt. And the X that marks the spot is actually giant well. Oliver fails his final exam on purpose because he doesn't want to leave and because he has the hots for Allie. Hi, I'm Allie.
I'm Allie.
And Elizabeth goes to talk to him, and then they play tag. Edie and Lucas decide to go dig at the well when Rosemary, Nathan, and Bill show up as well to the well. They all start digging together, and they find a chest full of coins. They go back to the office to discuss. When Edie realizes that the map that they were looking at, the one behind her desk, is a treasure map, she figures that there might be a secret message on it from her uncle. Once again, silly uncle. She holds it up to a candle, and a message appears. He explains that he found the gold and has used it to pay for Edie's law school, and he says that the rest of the gold is hers to do with what she wants. There's a sweet storyline about the townsfolk rallying around Angela and Minnie. It's very nice. There is a quilt involved. We love to see it. It is graduation time as we go on, and since it's being held at the saloon, as you do hold graduations, there's a dance afterwards. Lucas tells Elizabeth that the school board is interested in hearing more about the curriculum, but she's not sure about leaving baby Jack right now. Fair. The season looks to be ending peacefully until late that night when Elizabeth notices baby Jack lying motionless on the couch. She screams, "There's someone out!" Faith rushes over and says, "We got a bad batch of insulin.
It's a bad batch.
It's a bad batch." She tells Elizabeth that maybe Kate Fullerton would be best for baby Jack after all. So they hop in a car to go to Kate Fullerton to get him some good insulin. She gives Rosemary a note to give to Nathan because they don't know where Nathan is. Nathan's doing his rounds.
Yeah, big town, man.
Big town, big rounds. Nathan and Allie find out and they go after them, honking the horn when they find them. They all get in the car together, and Nathan tells Elizabeth, "Wherever you go, I go." And then they kiss. And that, my friends, was
When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 12, Must Be Gold.
Must be gold. Must be gold. Must be gold for us right now. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come
Trace.
back and talk about this episode here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking When Calls the Heart, the season 12 finale. We're going to share our thoughts on it with a little segment we like to call the hot take. It is where we share our thoughts on this episode. We do not hold back the takes. They are hot. Jax, what'd you think about it? Season 12 finale.
It started off very
Slow.
very excruciatingly
Oh my gosh.
slow. Like almost so much that I was like, oh, okay. Like this actually did surprise me that it started off so slow. With that being said, there were a lot of great moments. I'll get into more of them in the feels, but Minnie absolutely does a gorgeous job in this episode. There's a beautiful scene with Elizabeth where she says, the miracle isn't someday that it goes away. The miracle is that you can learn to handle it. You can carry more than you think, and you will for him, from one mom to another. This is really, really beautiful work that we're seeing here. I thought it was really lovely. Edie and Lucas, okay, it's heating up. It's hot. I'm into
It's heating up. It's hot.
I don't even think Jax believes what she's saying.
It's heating up. No, I mean, it is heating
Okay.
up. It's hot.
Oh, those
like,
two are
I
hot.
just want to see.
Those two are hot stuff.
I cannot wait to see her take those glasses off and that hair down. I'm just saying.
You set it up, girl.
Rosemary and Elizabeth's beautiful friendship that we get to see. She cries out for Rosemary. I think that it is interesting. We're doing like the whole thing of like, if I'm a bird, you're a bird kind of thing that they do in the Notebook. Like if you jump, I jump from Titanic.
When I move, you
all
move,
the
just like
things.
that.
When I move, you move just like that.
That's right.
Actually, that's my favorite out of
Yeah.
all of them. It
Hey,
really
DJ,
is.
bring that back.
So good. I think that it was interesting that we don't end with an engagement in this episode.
What?
However, it's very solidified that they are a family, which I think is really beautiful. And as someone who's been engaged for, over 3 years, what is an engagement anyway?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
Just a
said it.
fancy way of saying boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I think that, I'm cautiously optimistic about next season. I hope and I pray that we get to see the Hickams in Miami, because those two are not going to fare well, and I
Oh my
need to
God.
see it
There's no way they're going to show us.
in Miami.
It's a
The
whole season.
Hickams.
They probably won't be there by the time next season
How about
starts.
it's a spin-off? How about a spin-off? The
Hickams in Miami.
Frickham's in Miami. It's going to be a lot of
love
fun.
Frickham's in Miami.
Frickham's in Miami. Listen, it is what it is at this point in regards to the engagement. Frustrated doesn't begin to verbalize how I feel about the lack of engagement. And I think that the Hardys are with me. I think the Hardys are like, come on. Are you kidding me right now?
You think the Hardys are with you?
I do think so. I think the Hardys are frustrated
no
at the
idea.
lack of engagement. I don't know either. I'm not over there like...
My finger's nowhere near the pulse of
That's
the
right.
Hardys. I don't know.
I was told I'm not allowed to read Hardy reviews anymore, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But
to like protect your heart.
no, remember when I used to read the Hardy reviews
Oh.
and then the Facebook group got mad at
They got
me
really
and they
mad.
said you can't do that and I
Yeah.
got kicked out.
It was a really fun time.
Oh yeah.
maybe
Oh,
Not
that
our
was-
Facebook group.
no,
The Hardys
Hardys
Facebook group.
But maybe
Yes.
that's why my Facebook.
It's almost like they can't stand behind what they're saying.
What? Get out of town.
But then my Facebook got deleted and now
right.
I have a new one and so maybe I can get back in.
Maybe you can get back in.
Anyway,
I will say they are such sweet people.
so sweet.
Most of them, and maybe they felt like they were being mocked, and I hope they didn't feel.
Do
like
you
that.
feel? Have you seen anything about the Hardys being a little frustrated at no engagement?
People seem like they want an engagement?
Yeah,
That's the
people
buzz
want an
I'm
engagement. People want an engagement. But in typical When Calls the Heart fashion, they take things and they say, how long could we possibly go? And then they go longer than that. Love triangle.
Masters in edging.
Yes, they say, yes, they are. And so this was a frustrating episode for that reason. And then, I'm getting whiplash. I care about Baby Jack. And as a friend of the show, like to have this whiplash of, the diabetes is behind us. Bad batch. Was whiplash for me. And I care about my buddy. And so there's that. But yes, what does it say about me that the thing that I'm most invested in right now is Edie and Lucas? I don't know what that says about me. Maybe it means that I've been Team Lucas this whole time. But that's the relationship that I'm looking at and being like, That's interesting. Let's do more of that next season. I hope Edie comes back next season because I thought she was a wonderful addition to a show that already has too many characters. Dan?
Worst finale of the worst season in the history of the worst show that's ever been made. All right, I'm going to tell you why it's the worst finale. You guys have already touched on a few things. Number one, understand, Baby Jack, we didn't know he had diabetes till episode 10.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is not a product of a season of character development. What did we have that was a season of character development? 5 people showing up at the same burial site that happened to be in the same woods where every shootout takes place. That's one. Nathan didn't propose. What are we doing? 2, that's very important. Number 3, I'm going to say this one time. I'm sure I'll say it again, but I'm going to try not to. I know Elizabeth and Baby Jack are coming back to Hope Valley. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. No one in that situation who cares for their child to any degree is not moving immediately. They're moving immediately. They're going to Cape
especially
Fullerton.
with a sickness that doesn't just go away, and with a medication that is very new.
Yes,
you need to be as close as possible to the tap, so to speak.
Season 13's happening, so what do we know is happening? They're going to make some excuse. They're going to come up with an insulin factory at the water tower.
Lee's going to start a new business.
So stupid. Nothing of this season really mattered until the last 3 episodes. No proposal. Elizabeth leaving, and no Gowan in this episode. He's not in it. The best character got maybe 40 minutes of screen time, and I may be being kind this season. This is the worst finale.
He's neck deep in nuts, man.
This is neck deep in nuts, and that's on his own time. There's nothing we can. It's above board. Listen, this is the worst finale of the worst season of this television program.
Hey, Dan, can I intervene?
Yeah, go ahead, Baby Jack.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I gotta be honest with you.
I'm going to talk to you during the Wait What's. You need to know
well,
that.
I just want to say this. I take a little bit of an offense, if you don't mind, a little bit of an offense that your least favorite season finale is one where I really get to show my stuff.
I know. I'm sorry, Baby Jack.
I thought we had
You did
something.
do a really good job. No, you did a really good job, Baby Jack.
How you
and I
doing
mean
up,
that
girl?
genuinely.
Would you?
Good. I think you did a really, really good job dealing with that, Baby Jack,
Yeah.
and I was feeling for you.
How do
Yeah,
you
I
think
did-
you did in those scenes, Baby Jack?
I thought I did knocked out of the park 10 out of 10.
Great. Awesome.
You
I'm
look
glad.
at me.
We will not. If you look
No.
we will not in the Wait What's. I think Brandon and I may have a few conversations. May have a few things to say to you, but that's fine. I think you're wonderful.
Thank you.
You're an adorable little dinker.
I'm an adorable. That's what I'm
That's
trying
right.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put that on the top of my IMDb.
How
My
would
manager
you?
said
Where
I can't
would
put
you
that.
rank this season, Baby Jack?
One of one.
One of one.
One of
I
12.
was about to say. Thank you.
I
One
think
of
it's
12.
the best one. I really get to show my stuff. Remember when I did this thing with my neck?
Yeah, I do. I do
Remember
remember when
that?
you just honked right
Yes.
over. Honk.
People knew. That's what acting is,
Yeah.
right?
Jack, I'm going to get to you more in the Wait What, I promise. Jax, where would you rank this season? You guys are all thinking I'm crazy. Where would you rank this season? Like, think of the
Out
other
of the 13.
out of the 12.
Oh, it's 12.
Yeah.
Jax is already ranked
Jax
season
came-
13.
Seven.
Seven.
Okay, yeah. It's not, look, on just the,
It's not fair for me to rank it because I honestly can't remember one season for another. But I know that there, like the Hamilton season is still up there as my least
Hamilton
favorite
would be the one
season.
it's battling with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this season I felt like we had some,
All right,
there were
just
some
in
episodes
the
of
last,
movement.
since the Lucas and Nathan have been introduced. We have a season where she chooses, a season where Lucas proposes. We have a oil spit, like complete
Yeah.
explosion.
Yeah.
We have the switch at the train station. We have the government. All those sound
think-
like freaking Jerry Bruckheimer produced action movies compared to what we got this year.
I do think, though, as far as frustrating seasons go, the season where she breaks things off with Lucas is probably more frustrating
But
than
it
the
was-
season. We have this
But it was
potential.
must-watch TV.
Sure.
They end with them sitting on that log out there where they said be
Yes.
saved for the first time or whatever. I don't know. But like it was like watching a train wreck.
Yeah.
This is like watching nothing. Except I don't get
think
to
this
watch
is better
nothing.
This is better acting, though.
But it's not good television. It's just
But
not.
I think that this season is like a sweet spot. For
I'm just
when it comes
saying,
to Hardy,
if you-
for Hardys, this is a show where not a lot's going to happen, and occasionally we'll get a couple bumps in the road.
I'm just saying, if you rank the 6 seasons since Nathan and Lucas have been around by finales only, not by seasons as a whole, this would be the worst finale of those 6
What was
seasons.
last finale?
Last year's finale was their kissing.
Yeah, and that was great.
That
was a good
like
kiss.
this is the worst finale of the modern 6 seasons. And so if you want to go back to the previous 6 seasons, yeah, Hamilton you may be right, but there's 6 episodes that are like an hour 20 each. I think I save a few minutes. So I think that alone gets me a little bit. I'm just saying, guys, this is even for this show, like no Gowan, no proposal. It was just none of these storylines clicked for me. Last year we had Bill and Rosemary who were like solving a real crime that felt like it mattered. This was a tough watch. It was a tough watch, and I hated it.
Yeah, it's fair. I think the argument is no swing is safer than big swings, and so you can kind of watch this season and feel good and calm. And if that's
I want to be very clear. Like the season where she chooses Nathan at the end, or chooses Lucas at the end, and they kiss with all the candles and the wherever they are. That season, I'm sure there's a large contingent of people watching this show that is their least favorite season.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about what season is my favorite or least favorite. I think this is the worst qualitatively. Yeah. I'm not saying this is my least favorite season. I'm saying
I understand what you're saying. Yep, that's fair.
They didn't build very well. They didn't develop character very well, and they didn't give us anything. And so I just real bad.
Let's get to all the feels. Jax?
When I was about 5 years old,
go.
I was watching Grease for the first time. And Stockard Channing as Rizzo was making out in the back seat with Kaniki, I believe. And I felt something funny that I didn't know what it was, just this tingling. And I felt that same tingling when Edie said the word abscond. I was like, okay, my girl. So I really enjoyed that.
She got abscond feels.
I got abscond feels. That was a whole. Now this is a completely different feel. I want to make very clear because I'm about to talk about someone who's underage. Oliver. I mean, the fact that when he said about never getting to be a kid, it really, really touched me. And I mean, it's a little bit silly that everyone's running around thinking that he's trying to stay in Hope Valley for Allie. Yes, does he love Allie, or does he like Allie? Sure, but this man never got to be, or this gentleman boy never got to be a kid. And this gentleman boy never got to be a kid, and I was very touched by this. And then, of course, as I mentioned in the hot take, Millie, beautiful, 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 and Rosemary being there for Elizabeth. There were lots of feels for me, as well as the end when Nathan got, if you move, I move, just like that. And also baby Jack, you guys, his sweet little face.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you,
were
Jax.
really good.
We really ran the gamut there from the abscond to ludicrous. It was impressive.
I contain multitudes.
Yeah, you do.
You sure do. Listen, I don't really know how to feel because I felt about halfway through this episode, I was getting concerned. And I told you, we went into this episode, we're getting a proposal.
Yeah, we knew
We were pretty convinced of it. And about halfway through, I didn't feel like we were
proposal vibes.
We weren't moving that way. You know how you can kind of just feel it? I didn't feel like we were moving that way. And then when the whole thing happened with Baby Jack, we begin to realize that it was a lot of feels in this one.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it. Feels, because I just felt like, listen, we're not the showrunners. We don't know the conversation that goes into in the writing room about proposal versus non-proposal. It does seem like this show, more than any other show that we cover, is why do this season what we can do next season or in 2 seasons from now. And so a lot of feels while we were watching this. Dana?
I think I'm just going to abscond from this segment.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You abscond away.
Wait, can I steal one of yours then? Because I was
Steal
too
one of
busy
mine.
thinking about absconding, and when they read Edie's letter from her uncle, out of all the Martells, you are the brightest with the biggest heart. I actually did tear up at that.
Oh,
come on.
Well, that's nice.
I'll take that one.
Yes.
And we'll move.
You teared up too. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
Big tears.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we will not eat. We're not going to eat yet.
We're not going to eat yet.
We're going to come back.
We are not eating lunch yet.
Even though
it
smells so good.
So good. We're not going to do it.
Here, take the break. Welcome back. We're talking When Calls the Heart Season 12 finale here on Deck the Hallmark. Jax is with us per usual. It's time for the Wait What. It's where we talk about what in this episode made us go, wait, what? And I'll start with you, Jax.
So wait, was that lunch arriving?
Lunch
the
arriving.
hubbub I saw earlier when I
So-
was pouring my heart out and no one was paying attention?
Whoa,
Jax,
whoa. We
Uber-
contain multitudes.
Yeah.
I was
said
like, I'll move
abscond
through this like a
multiple times.
professional.
You were crushing it. You were crushing it. And everyone listening is going to have the same experience.
And everyone watching, we have it to where
That's right.
no one was going to know.
Philo.tv/DTH. Yes.
Until Jax called us
But
out.
also, Uber Eats, notoriously bad at their job. They were supposed to deliver in between 12:20 and 12:30. They were here at 12:03. So
Intriguing.
shout out to Uber Eats for doing it.
So that's where we're at.
We're doing it.
That's right.
We're doing it.
Aside from what happened here in the office, any other wait what's for you?
I only have two. When they're like, oh, Timmy and Emily got together.
There it
like
is.
It was a story.
There it
a
is.
story we've been following all season.
I'm so glad that the fact this is, gang, I'm just letting you know if you're listening and you're a When Calls the Heart fan, this was so bad that Jax picked up on it, okay? In Aaron Krako's opening narration, she says, Timothy finally found the courage to confess his feelings to Emily. And I said a cuss word. I literally was like, what are they talking about? How did this make
Who,
the
how,
opening?
when?
How did this make the opening narration? How did this get to the front of the line? How?
Well, I am someone who will usually blame myself in situations. So I was like, I guess I missed this storyline that must have been running through the entirety of season 12 to make it into the opening monologue of the finale. My other thing, at this point, I am angry about this. Where the heck is Lily?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's so, guys, it's making me so
I
mad because
literally
Faith
made
is
a
here.
joke, Jax, while she's talking to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is like, what would you do for Lily? And I'm like, oh, the girl who we haven't seen all season? Yeah, what would you do for Lily?
What would you do for the girl
Because it
that's
seems like you
taking
wouldn't
care of
actually do
herself?
anything
Yeah.
for Lily.
No, I
'cause she's never
assumed she went
around.
back with her grand. And look, before when I was angry about this, I understood that Faith wasn't on the show as much this season because Andrea Brooks was having a baby. I totally understand that. No judgment there. I understand why we couldn't work Lily in if
This
Faith
just in,
wasn't
Jax,
there.
no judgment for having babies.
We do have that on
We
the
have
record.
that on the record.
That's right.
No
She's
judgment.
got 3 though, so that's probably enough now, right?
Okay.
Andrea Brooks, I adore you.
She
I'm just
contains
teasing.
multitudes.
She's on 2 TV shows and has 3 kids. I think
Yeah.
she's an incredible woman. But anyway, yes, where the heck is Lily?
Yeah. It's real bad.
Yeah. I got a couple. One, you talked about our boy Oliver, who's had, he's grown on me. He was one of these people who entered the show early on this season. I was like, we don't need another one of these, but here we are. And I felt like it's been an upward journey, and I've come an upward journey, and I've come to enjoy Oliver. What I didn't enjoy was the scene where Elizabeth looks at him and says, "Tag, you're it," and then runs off and giggles.
Yikes, a bug.
I didn't
That
like
was
it.
not good.
I didn't like it, and it made me uncomfortable, and I just want that on the record. I talked about how the Frickhams, if you will, going to Niagara Falls was an interesting choice. It was going to take a long time. You know what's also going to take is somehow they found a place further away than Niagara Falls from Hope Valley. Miami Beach. They're going to go to Miami Beach. They're going to be journeying to Miami Beach for the duration of season 13. They won't be back. They're not going to be back next season. I'm convinced of it because they're like, what's the furthest corner to corner? How far can we get these people so that they're not here next year?
I just think the showrunners have grossly overestimated. I don't know what the highest amount of 10 overestimates. They have grossly overestimated how often and how far small town people in the 1920s traveled. Like, guys, they didn't. Going to Miami was like a once in a generation trip. Like maybe, not even maybe once in a lifetime, maybe never.
Yeah. But
Like-
also, like, they've wasted so many tickets on this show between Lee and
Oh my
Rosemary's
gosh, just
Mini. Like,
burning money.
we're going to San Fran, just getting around. And he, like, has the tickets. They had the Niagara Falls tickets, did they not?
Yes, just burning money.
Crazy. Crazy amount of
Yeah.
tickets have been wasted. That's all I'm saying. Dan?
I looked over at Brand 25 minutes in just to put a finer point on what Jack said, and I said, listen, I know this isn't going our way, but I'm just thankful Timothy found the courage to confess his feelings to Emily. You know? Like, if you had asked me, if you had read a list of characters to me and asked me if they were in When Calls the Heart or not, I would have definitely said no to at least one of those two names. Like, maybe both, but I would have definitely said no to one of those two names as being in the program.
Yeah.
And they made the opening narration.
Shout out Timmy.
Hey, we finally have a graduation, as you mentioned.
Yes.
And we definitely should have that in the school/church, right? I mean, it's the perfect
where I would have
building.
it.
There's a lectern. There's a
Outside
podium.
even? For,
outside.
If you want to bring your animals.
What about the bar? We have a church and a schoolhouse that's set up for a formal ceremony. What if we have it in the dark, dingy bar?
Well, I think it's a rite of passage. You know, in
where you're
1921,
going next.
you were old enough to drink when you graduate, I
Yeah.
think. And so you
Yeah.
you get your diploma, you get a bevy, and you have yourself a good night.
All of the hemming and hawing 2 seasons ago of Elizabeth not wanting to move to Capital City with Lucas, if she, which is fine, if that's not where her journey
Doesn't
is,
want to move for boy.
That's right.
Fair.
if she doesn't want to move for her child, worst person of the year.
Worst person of the year.
Worst person of the year.
Got the call.
Yeah, you got to leave. You got to leave. Lee is bartending in this episode. Get a life, Lee. get a lumber
He has a-
business, newspaper running, radio, wife supporting, bar owning. Get a GD life.
He's a workaholic,
You have a problem, sir.
but can still show up to radio shows eating popcorn.
You have a problem.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's a workaholic.
Lastly, baby Jack, I hate to do this to you, but
What's
if you
up,
could come
baby
back on, that'd be
boy?
great.
How you doing?
And I don't want to also call out Bran, who loves you. But
I love you, buddy.
when I was watching this, I was watching it with my buddy Bran.
Right.
And in the very dramatic scene where Aaron Krakow finds baby Jack unconscious
Oh, how
and
about
then
that scream?
screams
It was loud in my
for
ear.
Rosemary, screams for help. You definitely smile. The baby Jack definitely
Whoa. You caught that?
starts to crack a little bit of a no-tooth
Yeah, I can talk about this.
smile. And when I was watching it, baby Jack, I was going to let it slide. But my buddy Brandon guffawed. He laughed so hard at baby Jack being in a diabetic coma, but also smiling,
Yeah.
that I had to
I
bring it
get
up and ask you about it.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for talking. Yeah, of course. Listen, I don't do anything, without thinking it through first.
Yeah.
If it made it to air, it had to go through my people, and I had to give it a thumbs
You
up.
get final cut.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow.
It's in the
Okay.
contract. I
Okay.
thought that it was a little funny, and a lot of people might be asking, Baby Jack, what were you smiling at? What was funny? What were you thinking about? I'll tell you right now. You want the exclusive?
I want the exclusive.
I will tell you this right now. The thing that was bringing a smile to my face was thinking of your dumb face, Dan. I got him.
God, that's good. That's good.
I
Well
wasn't
worth it.
smiling.
We tried it
I
anyway.
wasn't
What's about?
smiling.
Yep.
I wasn't
You are.
smiling.
You're taking it back. You
I'm
weren't
taking
smiling.
it back.
Okay.
Heck yeah, bro.
Okay. Got it. Oh, got it. Great.
What you don't know, and you've never been in a coma, I
You're
don't
right.
think.
Nope.
So I was reading the little book, see?
The little
And
book.
something in the book made me giggle before I,
yeah.
comb it
so
off.
you comb it into a smile.
Yes.
I got it. Okay. I got it. It just
So
makes
I
sense.
was smiling.
But it was a coma smile.
It was a choice.
It was a choice you made. Great. Jax, you didn't happen to catch that, did you?
I didn't. I didn't. And honestly, that's in the editing.
Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
in the
It is in the editing.
It is in the editing. I'm back around.
He gets final cut though.
I get final cut.
That's right.
All right.
Great. That's all I have.
Okay, great. It's time for What the Hallmark is, where we wonder what could have been. Maybe helping us to clear any questions that we still have. Just kidding. It's time for Hopes and Valleys.
Hopes and Valleys.
It is the part of the show where we're talking about hope for the future
that
and
What
or
the
is
Hallmark
bumming us
intro,
out.
too. It was
I know.
unbelievable.
It's almost like I've done this 1,000 times. Jax, anything in this episode giving us hope for the future, or maybe something that's bumming you out?
Yeah, I'm going to go with bumming me out first and end on a high. It is going to be interesting to see how they navigate this diabetes diagnosis, and either it's going to go completely by the wayside, or it's going to be like this where it's randomly jarring rather than like an everyday feature of life, and the ups and downs that go along with that, with all the nuance of that, because there's already so much going on in the show and so many characters. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, I fear Lily's not coming back. And what's giving me hope for the future is Edie and Lucas, baby.
Yeah.
I think at this point, are we just going to have a double wedding with Elizabeth and Nathan?
I mean, might as well. Yeah, listen, of course, that's the thing that's giving me hope for the future. And maybe Elizabeth and Nathan, they're moving away, and now this is the Lucas and Edie show.
That's too good to be true.
I'm here for that. And the thing that's bumming me out is, again, talking about our guy Oliver. We love Ollie. We love Ollie. We love Allie.
Timothy, Emily, all of them.
And he was concerned. He didn't want to go to Kate Fullerton, so he bombed the test. Remember? Yeah. And now it seems as if he can go to Kate Fullerton. It also seems like he's, got the feels for Allie. They did a whole dance together. But now Allie is in the car driving away.
Yeah. This is all stuff that happened.
Lots of stuff for our guy Ollie to juggle, to figure out what's next for him. And I'm worried we're never going to see him again. Yeah. I'm worried that we're going to get to next season and Ollie's going to be gone. And all we're going to get is Ollie moved to Kate Fullerton to begin his career as a
Timothy and Emily are engaged and expecting their first child.
That is what I'm expecting next season, and that would bum me out because I'm here. I'm here for the next generation of When Calls the Heart to start right now. It's on the backs of Allie and Oliver, and we're here for it. Dan?
Do you remember when a season ended with Gallon knocking on Abigail's door?
Oh my gosh!
You remember how exciting those times were? Pregnant with possibilities. I mean, just so many.
So was she.
So I'm all valleys. Like, what do we have to like? Elizabeth's coming back.
We don't know where Gowan is.
She's going to endanger her child. We don't have a clue what Gowan's doing, nor do we care. This show's a mess. It's a mess, and there's literally. This is the first time I don't have a hope for the following season. Oh. The first time. I do have a hope that it smells great in this room and I'm going to eat lunch.
Yeah, that sounds really good. But not before we get to the What's Calling My Heart. It's where we read an email somebody sent in to hello@deckthehallmark.com and let us know the thing that is calling their heart, making them a little bit happy right now. Dan, final one of the season.
I just started listening to Deck the Hallmark while on a New Jersey-Pittsburgh road trip with a friend in 2021. The improv of it all had us hooked. We script the whole thing. Is she thinking of a different Deck the Hallmark? Like Baby Jack, like it's a mess to script that guy.
We have to get him
unbelievable.
Book him out years in advance.
When I got home, I shared it with my then 21-year-old daughter. We will call her Hornet. Hornet is high functioning on the spectrum. She has an affinity for language and wordplay, so she enjoys puns, improv, and especially Brand's unique use of the English language.
Oh.
Hornet makes fun of you. I love it.
Hornet, you have excellent taste.
She loves all of the guests that you have on the show and the inside jokes you share with us. We often say saw 'em live or that's Garland for you. Oh. Hallmark movies are not really our thing, but listening to the pod has led us to watch a few. We enjoy the Curious Caterer movies, and we would never have gotten to see Haul Out the Holly or Three Wise Men if Dan hadn't enjoyed them first. Oh my gosh, it's too much pressure on me. She has a tender heart. So she doesn't like to listen to the episodes with Jonathan Shapiro. Sorry, Jonathan.
Love you, Johnny.
And she is a staunch defender of Brand when Dan has pushed him too far.
Oh, I love Hornet.
Oh.
Hornet, you're okay. No, you're wonderful, Hornet. Are you kidding me? Even though she knows it's probably a bit, it is. Brand sounds that upset. She gets upset too.
I feel feel like Hornet and I have a lot in common.
Oh my gosh.
Hornet, don't listen to the ranking episode.
I am don't do it. I am way ahead of her listening to the podcast episode. So if you ever did happen to read this, I don't know when she'll ever hear it. I just thought you should know how much we've enjoyed listening. What's calling my heart is that Hornet and I have our own little code instead of inside jokes that the rest of the family do not get. We'll look sideways at each other and start giggling together. We have new traditions together like crafting while laughing through Hannah Swenson mysteries when no one else is home. We think of poor Brett Debbie whenever we see his mom's packaging at the store. We even bought the Christmas movie Magic card game and forced everyone to play with us. She's working hard to go through online school to complete a writing degree and hopes to be an editor. Maybe she could fix Hannah Swenson up. Maybe she could fix Hannah Swenson for us someday. I'm so grateful for Hornet and another way for us to connect with each other. Thanks. Just call me Hera. P.S. Tracy, where are you? We miss you. Come back. Hornet, just skip the Shapiro episodes. We're giving you permission to skip the Shapiro episodes. What an email. What an email.
Love you, Hornet.
Hornet, you're the best. Hera, you're also the best.
Brett Debbie loves you. Trace loves you.
Yep.
I love you, Hornet.
Yeah. Wow. Shout out to Hornet.
I love Hornet.
You love Hornet.
Yes.
That's right.
They're from Charlotte. They play basketball.
They do?
Go Hornets.
That's a different Hornet, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Basketball's my favorite sport. Like the way they dribble down the court. All right, everybody. We're going to be back next time with another one. Jax, we did it.
We did it.
We're
I love you guys.
for Love Club Moms
That's
with
right.
Jax. Look forward to that. Until next time, I'm the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.